Okay, you guys, can you hear me? Oh, wait. Okay, now I think you can hear me. Yeah, you could hear me. That's good. Okay. Um, my mic sounds bad, but maybe because I have noise canceling on. But whoops. Okay, let's get to reacting.
Our
I thought it was all right.
classroom bearded dragon Godzilla hadn't
Godzilla. Okay, who named their pet Godzilla? Okay,
moved all week because
have it hasn't moved all week. I think there's a problem.
his heat lamp was flickering and his water dish was empty.
We might want to fix that. Who, whose job is it to take care of Godzilla, whatever his name was?
Raised my hand. Mr. Dawson, Godzilla's lamp is still broken and he needs water. He didn't even
He didn't
look up from his
He didn't even look up. Yep. Teacher doesn't even care about the class
desk.
pet.
I'll get to it. He'd been saying that for 3
Here, one sec, guys. All right.
days straight, and winter break started tomorrow.
For 3 days straight, and winter break starts tomorrow. Then nobody's gonna take care of that thing. Yeah, it's cooked. G's in the chat.
So there would be no one checking on Godzilla for 2 full weeks. I clenched my fist.
For 2 weeks? I don't think pets are supposed to be left there for 2 weeks.
Sick of watching him suffer while nobody did anything about it. That's when I decided if nobody else was going to save him, I would. Late that night, I picked the classroom.
Go, whatever your name is. I don't even know who this guy's name is, but you go. Get up. All right, let's keep going.
Window lock, climbed through, and grabbed Godzilla's tank. It was heavier than I expected, and I'd only made.
He's just gonna grab the tank. Okay, bro. Okay, one sec. All right.
Made it halfway down the hall when a flashlight hit me from behind.
Yeah, he's cooked. He is cooked. A flashlight hit him from behind.
Freeze. I turned around slowly, shaking because I was sure I was about to get in huge trouble. The janitor lowered his light, studying the tank. Then Godzilla.
Okay, so quick question. Why does a janitor wear a basically security suit walking around the halls patrolling at night? Aren't they supposed to be cleaning?
Curled inside it. Is that the lizard from Mr. Dawson's room? I nodded, my heart slamming so hard I could feel it in my throat. Instead of reaching for his radio, he grabbed the other end of the tank. Let me help you. This
W janitor. He's helping. He just doesn't even question why he's in school in the middle of the night holding class pet. I guess
thing's heavier than it looks. We carried it out to the parking lot together, and as we loaded it into my car, he tapped the glass. I complained about that lamp myself 3 times. Nobody ever.
Oh, he complained. He complained too. So they are both on a team, if you want to call it that. Oh, whoops. Okay, keep going.
Listens to the janitor either.
Oh.
I took Godzilla home and hooked him up with a new.
Why is one of his eyes blue and one of is green? Okay, charging wire up.
Heat lamp and a full bowl of water. When school started back up, Mr. Dawson stormed into first period. Furious, the tank was gone. Which one of you?
Yeah, he's cooked. Okay, what did I just pause on?
You took Godzilla. Nobody said a word. Then he glared at me. You were the one complaining about him before break. Was it you? My heart pounded. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, it was him. It was him. He knows everything.
He slammed his hand on his desk hard enough to make the whole class jump. This is
the whole class jump? I thought it was going to say hard enough to make an earthquake. Too bad my soundboard isn't working.
Theft. I want him back today. Before I could say anything, the janitor appeared in the doorway.
This is a W janitor.
Actually, I helped an anonymous student move him because his lamp had been broken for over a month, and I've got the reports to prove it. Mr. Dawson opened his mouth to respond, but the janitor held up his hand to stop him. The principal wants to see you. Now, Mr. Dawson's face went
he's
pale
cooked.
as he followed the janitor out, and the whole class turned to stare at me. I just smiled. Wasn't me. Our classroom
Wasn't me. Yep. Was not him. Maybe check the cameras. Like, okay. Next short.
Hello and welcome to
What is
Standing
that
Up School.
ad? Wait, we're not even on his story. That's not an ad.
Our classroom bearded dragon.
Why aren't we on his? We're supposed to be looking at all of his shorts, but like only. It was just a one, and then I went to the regular For You page. Okay, guess next one here.
My teacher started crying
What is
mid-lesson about the
happening?
Pythagorean theorem. Do you guys think my husband is cheating?
What?
Our classroom bearded dragon Godzilla hadn't
Bro,
moved all
what is
week because his
happening?
heat lamp was flickering and his water dish was empty. I
Bro.
raised my hand. Mr.
I can't
Dawson,
pause it.
Godzilla's lamp is
Yo,
still broken and he
I
needs
can't pause the
water. He
video.
didn't even look up from his desk.
Please.
I'll get to it.
Oh, is it fixed?
My basement
Yay, we fixed it. W.
tenant moved out after 9 years and left the place cleaner than the day he got the keys. But while I was in
W roommate, or whatever. He cleaned up after himself. Unlike everybody watching right now. I already know you guys don't do that. Okay.
inspecting the unit, I saw that somebody had cut a square out of the
Oh. Ooh. Square. Okay. What? We didn't even try to cover that up. Left an empty room and just put that there. I figure all you guys can't see my mouse. But like,
drywall in the hall closet, patched it back in, and painted over the seam. Nobody had ever gotten my permission to do
Complete different
work in
color.
that apartment. He'd hidden something in the walls,
And it's an
and I needed to
apartment?
complete the inspection before I could rent the place out again, so I was going to find out what it
okay, who just leaves? They take everything with them, leaves, and they leave something in the wall, and they covered it up with paint that doesn't even have the right color. And then they just have their handy dandy hammer just laying on the wall.
was, no matter the cost. I smashed a hammer through the drywall. There was no smell
What
or
the
mess,
hell?
but somebody had built a weird shelf in the wall. The
A
first
shelf?
thing I picked up was a school photograph of a little girl in a dress I did not recognize, and my hand
Bro,
shook as I realized it was my daughter from about 3 years before I adopted her. Underneath
Yep, you're cooked. You are cooked. GG's.
it was a folder 4 inches thick, full
Okay, why are
Of
the
photographs.
images so stretched like that? Oh, bro.
of a man I had never seen before parked outside my house. A board pinned to the
What in
wall
the
tracked
world?
every time I ever left my daughter home
Okay,
alone.
what are those notes? You guys can pause and read those, but
And as I read it, I felt like I had snakes crawling under my skin.
snakes?
An envelope on the shelf had my name on it, which I
Oh, he's Kevin. Now we know. Okay, I'm pausing way too much.
tore open immediately. I stole her. I took a 6-year-old girl out of a
What?
house where she was not going to live to see 7, and I have not been
6,
sorry
7?
about it one day since. Her father has been hunting for her ever since, and I hope you never once noticed how close
What?
he got. Thank
Hiding that much of stuff, like that much stuff. And look at, like, did you see the color of that drywall? You might have to go back in the stream a little, but oh wait, that's really going back in the stream is so hard for some reason on like short things. That's
Thanks
weird.
for being the father she
Never mind.
actually
Okay.
deserved. I sat down
Bob.
on that closet floor with the folder open in my lap. The photographs of that man stopped
why
in
are they
March,
so
2 months
stretched?
before my daughter turned 18 and left for college, and I never knew her birth father was trying to take her from me
Bro.
this whole time. That tenant paid rent on the basement under my daughter's bedroom for 9 years, and I never even once thought to check if he could be a kidnapper.
So if they're 6 years old, how were they under there for 9 years? What? Waylon Cash. Hello.
I hugged the letter to my chest, thankful that this kidnapper worked to keep my daughter with me rather than take her away from me. I put the letter in
What?
my pocket and patched that wall back up, and I
Like, look at that color. This is the color that they used to patch that up, by the way. Like, what? What is that?
still hadn't decided whether I was supposed to tell my daughter or not.
It's. Do you mean it's lagging? I can't really do anything about that. Bro, was that an ad? Yes, that was an ad. Oh, we're frozen. W.
On a class trip to
That's
the
never good.
aquarium, a sea lion did a little
Mouse.
dance for
Also,
my
why is
bread,
there
so I
reloading
happily
thing? There we
tossed a piece into its mouth. But then I looked up and saw the sign, no
go. $10,000 fine or jail for feeding like a single chip or whatever that was. Bro, $10,000? How did he not see that? That's my question.
feeding the animals,
audio lags
$10,000 fine or jail. I shrieked in horror because I just love animals more than
It was a chip. Why are all the people just back there and he's just the only one just over here?
anything. Then my teacher pointed at the sign. Whatever you do, do not feed them. The supervisor
Yeah,
said
don't
one
feed them.
taste and they'll go into a frenzy and start violent.
Can I add what? What is that supposed to say?
Attacking each other. I slowly looked back at the sea lion, and it was doing exactly what she said, thrashing against the glass and screeching for more. But I couldn't tell anyone what I did, or else I'd be behind bars. So I tried to shoo the sea lion away from the glass, so it wouldn't get.
Can I add you on like what? Probably a no, but like, what do you mean?
Get me in trouble, but the kids behind me snatched the bread right out of my hands, aiming for the otters. I screamed at them to stop, but they'd already chucked it into the otter, penguin, and sea lion enclosures.
Those are the $10,000 chips. On Meta, no, I don't add people on Meta.
My heart sank as all the animals exploded into a frenzy, thrashing over each other and yelling for more. The teacher spun around. Oh no! Who's feeding the animals? My stomach dropped and every kid pointed at me. He did it first. She ran toward me, but before she could speak, the sea lions dragged themselves over the wall, so desperate for bread they crashed onto the floor and flopped after the screaming kids, doing dances for more.
Why? Because if I added everybody, then every single person I add would be able to call me and just DM me.
I stood frozen. Then the supervisor sprinted in, threw himself over a sea lion gobbling up crumbs, and screamed, "Whoever did this is going to jail. I'm calling the cops."
Yep,
the teacher pointed a shaking finger at me. He did it!
Cooks.
I'm so sorry! I stood there shaking. Sure, I'd ruined everything by feeding a hungry animal. Moments later, the cops burst through the doors and grabbed my arms. But before they could cuff me, a woman pushed through the crowd
holding his
a
chips, by the way.
clipboard.
Am I excited for school? No, I am not. Okay, but this guy's been holding his chip bag for this whole entire short. He's dedicated to finish it.
Stop! I'm a health inspector, and this is not normal behavior. Everyone turned, confused, and she pointed at the sea lions, still.
Okay, wow. That lady's just realizing now that something's wrong.
Licking crumbs off the floor, their ribs poking through their skin. These animals are starving. Look how thin they are. The whole room went silent as she turned to the supervisor. When were these animals last fed? He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. So the cops let go of me.
Oh, I know when they were last fed. Like 2 seconds ago. Okay, who wants up? They were last fed a little bit ago with some chips.
And slapped the cuffs on him instead as the whole crowd celebrated. My one piece of bread just saved every animal in that building.
That was bread? I thought those were chips this whole video. Okay, next video. Is that an ad? I don't know what that is. It won't load, whatever it is. Wait, no, that's not an ad. That's an ad. There we go.
The entire restaurant sang happy birthday to me when it wasn't my birthday.
If it wasn't your birthday, why is everybody singing happy birthday? Quick question there.
5 minutes earlier, I'd left the house for the first time in 2 months because
First time in... Oh, you unsubbed and subbed back? He left the house for the first time in 2 months. That's crazy. 2 months? Bro.
Because of my social anxiety, and told my prankster friend not to do anything to draw attention. He smiled and walked away from our table. Then 5
If you don't want them to do anything, then don't say anything about it.
minutes later, 20 workers were singing happy birthday.
Bruh. Yeah, don't do anything. I don't feel like being around people right now. And then they get 20 workers. Happy birthday.
Shot confetti.
They have a confetti shooting robot too. Bro.
my head. My whole body was frozen over as the whole restaurant looked at me, my legs
Woo.
trembling under the table as my friend grinned. Then the song ended, and I thought it was finally over, until a worker reached out his hand.
Okay.
By the way, I need your ID, just to make sure it's actually your birthday, and you're not just scamming the restaurant. My face instantly...
Well, so now they're gonna see that it isn't his birthday, and then I forgot what it said. It's banned for the restaurant, I think. I don't know, something like that. Or trying to scam the restaurant. Now he's gonna think they're trying to scam when it was just his friend that whole time setting it up.
went red, and I felt my heart rate go so fast I started hyperventilating. I
Yeah,
was
he's
about to
good.
have a panic attack as the worker coughed, "ID, please." But my friend
Yo,
had already noticed.
Waylon
He
Cash,
leaned over and
thanks for
whispered,
the sub.
"Leave," while I distract them. He jumped on our table before I
W.
could react and started singing "Happy Birthday," jumping
He jumped on the table, started singing "Happy Birthday." Yeah.
between free tables to get their attention. Every worker instantly turned to him,
Bro.
pulling him to get down as he glanced at me, mouthing, "Go." I quickly got up and crept out,
What is
still
going on,
hyperventilating
bro?
once outside. He ran
Was he just sitting on air? What was that? He's magical, guys.
out after me. "Did you have fun?" The entire restaurant
Yeah, I think the next video after this is an ad. Yes, that was an ad.
My older brother measured me for the 6th time that day and
That does
screamed,
not look like an
4
older
inches?
brother."
You grew 4 inches?" I stared down at him and he glared, "Stop that. No little
I don't think that's how it works. Also, that's not your older brother, bro.
brother of mine will ever look down on me. We're fixing this before..."
Bro. You have no one in your life except me? Yeah, I know.
It's too late. I wondered what he meant, because there was no way to make someone shorter, right? But the next day, he kicked my door open, waving a printout of a compression machine. "Good news. I found a chiropractor
Bro.
who compresses people for a living." He went up on his toes.
What?
"You're booked for Saturday." After that, I'm the tall one. My stomach dropped, but then it hit me. I couldn't stop the appointment, but I could outgrow the machine. So I ran to the kitchen and started eating. I ate
I don't think that's gonna happen. If in a couple of days you're gonna go there and you have to outgrow the machine when the whole purpose of it is... What is happening, bro?
4 stacks of pancakes, 2 boxes
Bro, 4 stacks? That you're not gonna outgrow the machine, you're gonna outwide the machine.
of leftover lasagna, and 3 whole jars of peanut butter, dropping the
That's
empties wherever I
crazy,
stood. He
bro.
walked in on the 3rd jar, and I froze with the spoon in my mouth, but he patted my shoulder. "Good. Enjoy your last meal," as the tall one. On Saturday, I squeezed through the clinic door sideways and jammed halfway into the machine.
Bro.
The chiropractor pulled me free and wiped his forehead. "I can't compress this. He's at full capacity."
This is called a human this. That's crazy.
My brother slammed the printout on the counter. "So squeeze him harder." The
What?
chiropractor shook his head. "If I compress him right now, everything inside him will blast out of every hole." My brother crossed his
Bro.
arms. "So what? I'll take that risk." I went white, but
I'll take
thankfully
that
the
risk, it's
chiropractor
crazy.
didn't move. But then my brother yanked me out the door. "Fine,
Bro.
I'll do it myself." When we got home, my brother
He'll
grabbed a
do it-
hammer. "If a professional
hammer?
won't fix you, then I'll just break your legs instead." He
What?
chased me around screaming, "Get back here! You need to be fixed!" I sprinted into
Bro,
the
what is
kitchen, but his
happening?
foot came down on one of the empty peanut butter jars
Yep,
I'd left on the
that's what
floor
he
and
gets.
shot out from under him. He hit the tiles hard and curled
Ooh,
up,
and he
clutching his
slipped.
ankle and howling. That's when our neighbor came running through the back door. I heard screaming. "Is he
There
all
goes
right?"
his
I answered
leg.
calmly.
No,
"He
he's
slipped,
shorter."
but he's fine. He's my older brother." The neighbor's head snapped back and forth between us. "He's the older one, but he's so small." My brother
He's so
howled and
small.
lunged at
Exactly.
him, so I hooked an arm around his waist and lifted him clean off the ground. He swung at the air like a toddler while I looked down on him from above. My older brother...
Yep, he's just too cool. Alright, next video.
We were eating dinner when my girlfriend Mallory pulled a puppet out of a shopping bag and set him in the chair across from me. "This is Gary. He's going to
Gary.
help us communicate
Hello,
better."
Gary.
I raised an eyebrow. "Communicate better
What?
how?" She slid her
How
hand
is
into
that?
Gary's back and made him talk. "You don't listen to Mallory when she talks, so maybe you'll listen to me." I set down my
Bro, I'm
foot.
not listening to
"Mallory, I
Gary."
can see your lips moving." She shook her head.
That's-
That was Gary talking. I
That
kept my
was
mouth
Gary.
shut
Yep.
because I loved her enough to give this a real shot, but I had no idea how far she was going to take it. That weekend, my
Bro.
buddy Dave came over over to watch
Okay,
the game,
why is
and
Dave
Mallory
walking
propped
like that?
Gary
Dave
on
is
the
an
arm of the
NPC.
couch as soon as he sat down. Gary leaned toward him, and she made him talk.
Ew.
He's a man, but he still sleeps with a nightlight. Isn't that stupid? Dave
Bro,
burst out
what?
laughing so hard, he nearly spilled his beer.
Why does
My
Dave
face went
laugh
hot
like that?
because the idea of Dave telling our friends about this made me want to glitch through the floor. Just say that to my face,
Yep, she's gonna
Mallory.
go to
She
the
crossed
back
her arms.
rooms.
Gary
Yep.
said it, not me. After Dave left, she started making Gary talk about us as a couple. You'll never be man enough for her.
Bro,
I
what
glared
is
at the puppet
happening?
sitting on her knee, her hand still buried in its back. Mallory, that's a really weird thing
Yep.
for a puppet to have an opinion about, and we both know it's you talking.
Bro.
She didn't laugh, so I decided if
Gary.
she wanted to hide behind a puppet, so could I. The next day, when Mallory got
Oh,
home
he's
from
going
work,
to
I had my
also-
own puppet
is he
waiting
gonna
on
be
the
Larry?
couch, my hand
Watch
already
it be
working
named
his
Larry.
mouth before she'd even sat down. Hi, I'm Kevin. Mallory's eyes
Kevin.
narrowed. What is going on?
I
Kevin
actually
cleared
guessed
his
that.
felt throat. I just
Totally.
wanted to let you know you're single now. You'll never
Ooh,
find a man who
that's-
puts up with
that's
this. Her mouth fell open, and I set Kevin down gently on the
Kevin
cushion
said it,
beside
not
me.
me.
Maybe you should date Gary since you can control him. We were eating
Ooh,
dinner
that's
when
crazy.
my girlfriend
Nope.
The doctor pointed at my daughter's hospital room with tears in his eyes. The treatment failed. Your 9-year-old has a week left to
What?
live, maybe less. I'm sorry. I wiped my face, walked back in, and knelt next to Kaya and put down the Barbie doll she was playing with.
It just
Baby,
phased through the blanket. It's
the
magic.
doctor just told me you beat the cancer. You're in remission.
He
The treatment
beat
was
it?
successful.
Wait, but that's not true. The doctor said that she has a little bit left to live. Then he said that she beat it.
I did my
Ooh.
best to seem happy. She'd spent 2 years in a hospital, and she wasn't
That's
spending her last week alive hopeless in it too. She shot up so fast her IV pole rattled. Then can we celebrate? Can we go to Disneyland?
Bro.
Please, please, please. I was already
L-
reaching for her shoes. Let's go
L,
for a
whatever
full
his
week.
name is,
This
I
is going
forgot
to be
what
the
it
best
was.
week of your life.
I think it was
promise.
wait,
As
yeah,
soon
it
as
was
we
Kevin.
arrived, she spotted Tiana
Same
by
as
the
the
castle
doll.
and dragged me so hard I almost fell. She wrapped both arms around her waist. You're the princess who got me through all my chemo treatments over the last 2 years. I watched Princess and the Frog a
you didn't get
bajillion
through it, though.
times. And guess what? I'm cancer-free. Tiana pressed a hand to her heart
He
and
was
pulled her
lying.
in. Well then, this moment ought to be documented. A cast
Oh,
member snapped a
liar.
photo of them mid-laugh. It printed instantly, and Kaya sprinted back
Instantly?
waving it.
Those types of pictures don't print instantly.
Daddy, look, I'm gonna
Huh?
keep this forever. I smiled wide enough to hide the ache spreading through my
Wow.
chest. The sun was setting, and Tiana pointed towards the Disney parade. They have one at the end of every day. Y'all can't miss it. Kaya climbed onto my
Fireworks show?
shoulders and
Ooh.
stretched both arms out like an airplane while I ran side to side. When we got there, fireworks
He ran side to side. You were running in a straight line.
burst over the castle. But when I looked down,
Okay.
Kaya was doubled over, coughing at full force. When she pulled her
Ooh.
hands away from her mouth, they were red. Daddy, why is there blood?
Ooh.
I took a deep breath, ready to tell her another lie. But the next
Yikes,
cough
bro.
was so aggressive she fell to the floor. I scooped her up and ran for the gate,
Yep.
screaming for
L-
help while the fireworks
L,
kept going
Kevin, you
behind us.
lied.
In the ambulance, she never let go of the photo. We were in the hospital when the doctor said the words I'll never forget. She's gone. I'm so
How'd she
sorry.
not
Tears
hear?
streamed down my
The
face.
doc-
I
the
promised her
doctor's,
the
like,
best
right
week
there.
of her life.
How'd
She
they
got
not hear
9
that?
hours, but she spent every one of them as a girl
9
who'd won.
hours?
The doctor pointed at
Whoops, that's why is there a croissant there?
I woke up to my little brother standing over me in ski goggles and oven mitts, aiming his toy
What?
bow at my face. Get up. The wasp monster found our base.
The wasp monster found our base. Yeah, if you woke up in that and you hear that, yeah, you're good.
He dragged me downstairs while I
The
told him he
wasp.
was crazy, but he shook his
Bro.
head. Relax. I haven't washed my underwear in 3 months.
What does that have to do with the wasp monster?
I'm immune to all wasps. I gagged so hard I almost passed out. Then he pointed
Bro.
through the front door window, and my gagging stopped. A wasp
If
nest
he's immune to wasps, why is he wearing like oven mitts and everything?
the size of a basketball was hanging
That really is a
right
size of a
above our door.
basketball.
If that
Wow.
swarm got inside, we were cooked. Before I
Never cooked.
could stop him, he cracked the door and fired. The suction cup
Yo,
stuck to the
run!
nest, and
Get
wasps
out
poured
of-
out of
oh,
every hole.
no.
I desperately yanked
Leave
the
the
door
door
shut
open.
before they could get in. Then I grabbed the garden hose out back and blasted the nest before the
Out
swarm
back?
could settle.
Now they're
But the
gonna
pressure
come over
died
to you and you have
mid-spray,
nowhere
and
to
the
go.
whole swarm turned on me. So I sprinted
go-
inside
I knew it.
screaming and slammed the door. Through the peephole, I
But they
watched
all
the
got
nest
in.
sag lower, swinging by one thread over the doorknob. Wasps started tapping the windows looking
Bro,
for a way in, and my
that-
heart was pounding
they
because we
are
had nothing left. That's when I remembered what my brother had said about his 3 months of unwashed underwear.
Okay,
I turned
what
to
does that
him
have to
and
do
said
with
in
a
my most
wasp?
serious voice, "Take it off." He backed against the wall,
What?
hugging his waistband. "No, that's my armor." I wrestled it
That's
off him
his
and
armor.
flung it onto the porch, praying his filth
Bro.
could do what the hose couldn't. The entire
Close the
swarm
door.
left the nest and gathered around it. They took one sniff, and every single wasp dropped out of the sky, dead
That's
on
crazy.
sniff. My brother
He
was on the
died.
floor saying he felt weird,
Dead
but I
on
just
sniff.
laughed. Your underwear wasn't armor, it was a chemical weapon. The
It's a chemical weapon.
Wasp monster never stood a chance.
Yeah, the wasp monster. Wasp monster.
I snuck
Next
into an
video.
art museum with my own painting hidden behind my back,
He has
along with
his
$1 million price
painting.
tag in my hand. An expert was
$1
lecturing a
million?
crowd. Only a trained eye can recognize true art, while pointing
True art? That is a banana taped to a wall. Why is that art like 2.5 million or something like that? It might be like 6 million. I don't know. Like, bro, I could go make that right now. I just got to go get a banana and some gray duct tape.
at a banana taped to the wall. I nodded and smiled, because this is exactly why I came here. I was
That's
broke,
modern
so
art,
if a banana was
trust.
art, my painting of a coffee stain was about to make
Painting
me
of
rich.
a
I stood near an
coffee
empty
stain.
wall, and the second the
That's-
security guard
that's
turned away,
unique.
I slapped my painting on the
Bro.
wall, stuck the price tag under it, and
$1
slid back
billion.
into the crowd. My heart was racing so fast I had to pat my chest to calm down. A rich collector spotted the new painting, so he pushed everyone out of the way and planted himself in front of my
Why'd they-
painting. His eyes
why'd they
went
get
wide,
pushed like
and he
that?
waved the expert from earlier. The crowd followed, and the collector
expert.
pointed at the painting with a smile. This
Wow.
is exquisite. The craftsmanship
Bro, this is exquisite. It's just a brown paint just splattered in a circle.
must be from the 1800s.
From the 1800s. Yeah, that's from the 1800s. That guy, he's been working there for almost his whole life. I don't know. But like he's been working there and he never realized that painting was not there. It wasn't there 5 minutes ago. Now it is, but it must be from the 1800s.
rubbed my hands together and began imagining how I was going to spend the $1 million. But
Million? I thought it was billion.
then I saw my signature was smudged, and I froze,
Ooh,
because without my
signature
name, nobody could
smudged.
prove it was mine. So I
Now
immediately
he can't go
slid
get it.
over
He's
to
gonna
fix
get
it. I
attacked,
touched the
bro.
smudge with my finger, but the expert instantly snatched my wrist. Do
Ooh.
not touch the art. Get this idiot out of here. I
Ooh,
went
but he
pale
made
and
it.
tried to pull my hand back, but the guard
He
was
made it,
already
though.
lifting me off my feet. Wait,
What?
that's my painting. I was just fixing it. He shook his head, laughed, and started carrying me away. That's when the
All you had to do is just go up to the front desk. Hey, can I add a painting? Or like,
collector asked who painted it, and the expert straightened his tie. It's me. I painted
he painted it? Bro, what? Well, it was only like the last letters of the name that were smudged, so none of the letters in there are gonna match his name.
His trained eye had recognized the true art, and he had stolen my idea of getting rich. No! I saw the collector hand over $1 million check to that expert,
$1
and my
million?
hands started shaking. But the guard just carried me past the banana, so I ripped it off the wall and took a bite. I snuck
Without peeling it. He just took a big bite. Wait, no, that's not it. That's an ad. What? Ah!
into an art museum.
Whoops. Alright, next video.
I made my wife cry on
There's
Christmas
a lot of
morning. On
ads.
Christmas morning,
What did you do to what did you do on Christmas morning?
I unwrapped a cologne from my wife, and when I smelled it, I had to turn
Wow.
around. It reminded me of a wood cabin infested with mold and
Bro, I thought it was gonna say like a wood jolly cabin. No. A wood cabin infested with mold?
filled to the brim with cow dung. But when I
Oh, even better. Okay.
turned the bottle, I knew it cost at least
Why is it green? Bro,
$800. So
$800? Yeah. Sell it. Just get it out. Nobody wants that, bro.
I turned back around, plastered on a Hollywood white smile, and said, "You know me too well." From
Oh, that's why he didn't go out of the house for 2 months like they said earlier. Because he was wearing that?
there, I sprayed myself every single morning until I finished it just to get her money's worth,
Every
just waiting
morning?
for the
Bro. That's crazy.
nightmare to end. But when Christmas came around again, she handed it to me. Same stupid box, same
Oh.
stupid cologne.
It's the same one. Every year he's getting the same one. He finishes it, then Christmas is the next day, then he gets another one.
I forced a smile that was just as big as the first one.
That smile is not big.
She wrapped her arms around me. I knew you would love it. I sighed, and
Yep,
the
he
next
loves
morning
it.
I walked out of the bathroom without putting it on, but she stopped me in the hallway. "You forgot your cologne."
Maybe you put it on, lady. Maybe you should put it on.
I sprayed it with a grin, but
Ashaz, what could the scent possibly be called? Like cabin infested cow dung? Like what?
deep down, I was wondering when the suffering would finally end. By our 10th Christmas, I was getting ready
10th Christmas. He's gotten it 10
to
times in a row.
unwrap my 10th putrid cologne and put on my 10th Oscar-worthy performance, when suddenly, she grabbed my hand. The cologne was discontinued, so I had to get you something new. I ripped
Let's go. He gets a new one.
It open, and it smelled like the ocean on a cool morning. I couldn't fake my
W.
happiness, and I twirled my wife around the room, kissing her and repeating thank
Okay.
you over and over. But halfway
get it.
through, I froze because I realized I had just given myself away. What is going on? I stroked her hair. There's something I need to
Oh, yeah, because he wasn't as excited for the other one.
tell you, and just remember I love you. I never liked that cologne. Her eyes widened.
Could have said that the first time.
Wait, what?
Just say, I don't really like this.
You've
Instead
been
of wearing it
that
for 10
cologne
years.
every single day for 10 years and you hated it? I nodded, and she gave me a big goofy smile. You could have just been honest. I love you way more than any stupid cologne. And just like that, my Hollywood smile turned into the real thing.
Wow. Okay, W ad.
My
Next
science
video.
teacher dropped my test on my desk with a giant red F at the top,
giant
and my
red F?
eyes shot wide because every answer on the page was correct. I raised
How is he supposed to know if they're all correct? The teacher grades it. Well, I mean, I guess you can technically know.
my hand and asked
But
why
why would he get an F?
I got
then?
an F when I got everything right. Ms. Briers spun around so fast I thought she'd give herself whiplash.
Bro.
Because you're lazy. You've skipped my
You were
class all
lazy?
year, and now you think a few right answers earns you a pass. I stood
Actually, it actually does. If you right answers, they do give you a pass.
up and told her that's exactly what I think. I aced it because I actually love science, not because I sat in her room. She crossed
Bro.
the room in 2 steps and got right in my face.
Yeah, he's
She
good.
grabbed the pen and wrote a giant F in her notebook so hard
Giant
the page
F.
nearly ripped. We got
The page nearly ripped. You might want a new teacher, bro.
new microscopes in 2 weeks ago. You were never here and somehow knew everything about them.
I mean, okay, what is this pause from? Like, he can't know anything about microscopes? Like, just let the kid know about microscopes, whoever.
That's cheating, and I'll report you for it.
That's cheating. If he was taking a test in your class, that means he can't use a calculator for something about microscopes. I mean, like the math part probably. Wait, no, but that's in science. So then he'd have to have like a phone. I think you'd be able to see and hear him if he's just in the class on a phone.
I clenched my fists so hard the test crumpled in my
Oops.
hand. This is bull crap.
What?
Every answer is right. I'm taking this to the principal. I
Yeah,
stormed
take it
out,
to the
and she
principal,
grabbed
come
her
on.
gradebook and followed me the whole way. In
Let's
the
go.
principal's office, I slammed the crumpled test on his desk and told
Wow.
him every answer was correct, and she'd
Could have just did not have to slam it.
failed me anyway. Ms. Briers cut in before I finished. He skipped my class all year. He doesn't deserve to pass. The
Just because he skipped the class and he still knows everything. So, and if he skipped the class, he still knows everything. Then he should be skipping like a next year. He knows more. He doesn't need
principal
classes.
smoothed the test flat
Just-
and ran his eyes
Okay, I might need that principal hired, bro. If he could flatten papers like that are crumbled.
down it, his brow tightening. But these answers are all correct.
Exactly.
Why did you fail him? The color drained from her face. Because he skips my class. He can't just skip my class and
Okay, Granny's hitting the same emo every time.
pass.
He skipped my class.
The principal set the test down and turned to her. Do you know why he skips your class? She opened her mouth, but nothing
'Cause
came
he's too
out,
smart.
so I said it for her. Every afternoon, while her class was running, I was working at the nearby grocery store, and every paycheck
Okay.
went straight to the science department because the school couldn't
science
afford science
department.
equipment.
Oh.
The principal nodded because he already knew. I turned
He's the reason everybody else knows, but he just knows because
to
he's
Ms.
cool.
Briers. I knew everything about those new microscopes because I'm the one who bought them.
Oh, he's the one who buys all the supplies, so that's why he knows everything about them.
I love science, so I'll skip your class every time if that means getting the equipment for me and my classmates. Her hands shook as she mumbled an apology, then opened her gradebook,
They're outta here.
crossed out my F, and wrote an A. My science
Too late now. What is that? All right, let's keep.
I was downstairs pulling their sleeve.
I'm not watching this. There's gonna be some alarm, and I don't like those.
Girl,
Bro, I
did
don't
you-
want to go to Sephora. What?
I
W
volunteered to
ad.
get dunked at the school fair.
My bully trapped me in the dunk tank. That's what the video's called. Let's see.
When my bully cut to the front with a big carnival mallet, walking straight to the target. He's been public enemy since
Ooh.
kindergarten, so I screamed, "You're cheating! Stop!" But
Aren't
he
you supposed to throw like from a while away, like with a little ball? It's supposed to be really hard. Since when do you get a hammer?
raised it high anyway. Dunk if your dad's in jail. Whack! I plunged into
What?
the freezing water as the whole school clapped. Dunk if your mom left to get milk and nobody loves you. Whack! I hit
What?
the water again, fuming with anger. Then he held the target down laughing, so I'd stay underwater to torture me. This is my favorite game and I'm not going anywhere. I held my
wait.
breath.
How does him holding it down make him stay underwater? What is he being held down by?
Humiliated because everything he said was true, but he was about to regret
Wait, is
every
that- are
word.
those just
He
like the
finally
rules?
stopped, and I gripped the belt across my lap to take it off. Don't talk
The belt? If there's a seatbelt there, that's pretty dangerous. If the platform flips vertically and you have a seatbelt, you're...
about my dad, but the mallet came back down. Whack! And I crashed underwater.
Why is this kid getting so many turns? Let someone else do it.
Before I could escape. 10 times I tried to speak, and 10 times he dropped
10 times I tried to speak. Proceeds to show him yelling.
me until I finally stopped, defeated, letting his words get to me. But
That's when you stand up on the platform and you jump over to him. And you hit him with...
when I lifted my eyes to the crowd, I froze because I saw a familiar face, and I couldn't help but smile. So I looked my bully dead in the eyes. What did you
Familiar-
say about my dad? Say it louder. He grinned and leaned into the target. I said your daddy's a dirty criminal who's rotting in there. He dropped the mallet one more
Look
time,
behind you,
and I
buddy.
smiled because he had no idea what was coming. He held it down as my lungs burned, but through the rippling water, I saw a huge man walking straight toward
Huge
him,
man,
and bubbles
okay.
left my mouth as I laughed. A huge bald man with tattoos up his neck grabbed
Bro.
my bully's shoulder.
Ooh,
What did you
he's
say
good.
about me, huh? The bully spun around. Nobody's talking about you, fatty. Get lost. But I finally came up, gasping for air. That's
Why was he even underwater? Like, what?
my dad, you idiot. His face went white as he clocked the jail uniform. My dad had gotten out that morning to surprise me and walked right into my bully. You spent all day running your mouth about me being locked up. Now
Hit
let
him
me
with the
show you what I
hammer.
learned in there. My bully shrieked as my dad
You fall, they cheer. Wow.
picked him up with one hand, and RK owed him into the tank
What? Bro, yeah.
so hard
One
the water
arm.
exploded everywhere,
The water is gone now. Where did the water go?
emptying it. Quickly, my
It emptied the whole thing just because he jumped in there?
dad strapped my bully onto the seat and handed me the mallet. I
Strapped him on the seat? That's dangerous. If the strap is there, like...
smiled. Dunk if you're mad
Why do you
my
even
dad
need that?
came and yours never did. Whack. And with
Ooh,
no
that's-
water left, he slammed
no
onto
water
the tank
left.
floor, and my dad pulled me in and told me he loved me. I volunteered.
W. Next video.
My older brother tossed me a ball while I was gaming. Do you want to go play outside? He smirked. The
No.
ball felt extremely wet, but I
Yo, is that syrup? What is that? He's just getting ignored like the syrup in that the ball felt wet.
instantly shot out
Honey Boy got his payback. Oh, that's what the title of it is. Okay. So that is honey, actually, and honey is sticky. How do you not realize that?
of my chair anyway. The back of
What is on his
my
chair?
pants felt wet too.
What?
Yet I still ran out and placed the ball on the grass.
Still ran out.
Excited to finally play with my big brother. Chase laughed and called me cool, and I was confused because he usually only liked hurting
So
me.
cool.
But just as I was about to kick the ball, I heard buzzing behind me. I turned and freaked
Ball?
out as hundreds of bees and
Bro, no.
wasps landed on the back of my pants. I instantly screamed and began sprinting as I was allergic to their stings, yet they kept
Bro.
following me and sticking to my pants. Chase was on the ground laughing as I ran inside and slammed the door. But that's when I
Bro.
noticed the honey on my gaming chair. The back of my pants were covered in honey too, and suddenly someone tapped my shoulder. "What's wrong, honey boy?" Chase grinned
What's
with a bottle
wrong?
of honey,
I
and I
wonder.
instantly realized he'd smeared
Instead of his story, like it's his
honey on my chair. He used the fact I wanted to play with him to get me outside so I'd be swarmed by bees and wasps. I could have died. You know this. I
Could've
shut
died,
the door while
yeah.
he laughed, and as I cleaned my chair, my fists curled
Cleaning honey off your chair. So he doesn't wash it or anything. He doesn't like wash the pad. Because I'm pretty sure you could take those off. Because I have a chair like that right now. And I put it together. I'm pretty sure you could take those off. But instead of washing it, he used his fingernails and started scratching the honey. Bro, get a new chair.
into a rage. That night, I contacted our dad's beekeeper friend, and a week later, I grinned
Beekeeper
because
friend?
everything
Release them in his room while he's sleeping.
was in place. I watched from behind the door as
Wait, is
Chase
that what they're
walked
gonna
into
do?
my room and rubbed honey
Wait,
on
I
my
think it is.
controller, giggling
On the
to himself.
controller.
But then his eyes landed on my box full of my video games, just like I'd left
Oh,
out.
he's gonna
He took
put
out a
honey all
giant
over the
spoon of
video
honey.
games?
This is even better, and I held my breath in
cooked.
excitement. He opened the box, and hundreds of bees instantly flew out. They swarmed the jar of honey in my brother's hand, buzzing and stinging to get to it. Chase screamed
Well, now you just let bees out in your room. You're gonna go to bed, think they're all gone. One is
Screamed in
under.
pain and flailed his arms to get them away. But then his hand hit my open bathroom door. The jar of honey I'd placed on top tipped, splattering
Bro, this guy's predicting everything his brother does, like running into the thing.
on his head as the bees now swarmed to his face. He clawed at himself and tried to just sprint out of my room, and that's when I slammed the door in his face. He dropped like a
Yes.
statue while the bees swarmed around him. I wiped my hands and listened to the buzzing on the
Oh, now there's gonna be bees in your room. Good job. It's a lose-lose in that
other
situation.
side. What's wrong, honey boy? My older brother.
Next video, that's an ad. Alright, now next video.
I told my girlfriend's mom I was the world's biggest Twilight fan because her living room had 6 Edward posters and I wanted her to like me. She grabbed both my hands and
Yes.
whispered, "Finally, someone
Why did I
for
say
trivia
yes?
night." Then she pulled me toward the basement
Trivia night?
stairs and shouted,
Watch,
"Everybody
he's
get
gonna-
dressed. We start in
he's gonna
20.
know
My girlfriend leaned close while her mom
nothing.
carried out a cardboard cutout of Jacob. "You told her you loved the books?" I said. I thought liking vampires was enough. Her uncle walked past
What?
us in a blonde wig, and her cousins hurried downstairs with glitter smeared across their cheeks and collarbones like they had
What?
just stepped into
Bro, what is happening? Bro, you're in like some random brick room. Those two people with glitter.
vampire sunlight. Someone planted a life-size werewolf
Bro, why is there a
beside the
werewolf?
snacks, and her mom rang
And
a
chocolate snacks.
bell shaped
What
like
is-
an apple, and I realized I had
What?
lied myself into Forks, Washington. Her mom pointed at me first.
That guy
Easy
is
one.
good.
Who turned Edward into a vampire? I had
Watch, he's gonna know absolutely nothing about it, even though he said he is the biggest fan.
seen one movie on cable, half asleep, so I gripped my paper plate and guessed the first
Come on.
doctor name I could find
Got
in my
this.
brain. Carlisle. The basement clapped. Uncle Carlisle
Oh,
adjusted his
got it
blonde
right.
wig like I had honored his bloodline. Her mom leaned over the scorecard. "What gift does Jasper have?" I pinched my girlfriend's sleeve
Let's
under the
see.
table. She did not help.
What-
Bad vibes? The room
gift?
went silent. Then her cousin said, "Technically, emotional manipulation." Everyone clapped again. I stopped
Yep.
gripping the plate.
Wow, great
Twilight
job.
sounded fake, even when it was real. Her mom asked why vampires played baseball during thunderstorms.
I don't know.
I said, "Because they hit the ball like a car crash?" Correct. Then she smiled. "What did
That
Jacob do
doesn't
after
make
Bella had her
sense.
baby?" I sank lower in my chair while the werewolf cutout leaned over the snacks. No real answer could be normal, so I built
What should you do in that situation? Steal the werewolf, and then or just run away.
the worst sentence I could. "He fell in love
Great
with the
idea.
baby?" My girlfriend covered her face. Her mom slammed the apple bell. Imprinted. But yes, her mom stood and cleared her
Oh.
throat. Final
How is he
question.
getting this
Alice
right
can
if he
see the
doesn't know
future,
anything
unless
about
what? The whole sparkly family turned to look at me expectantly. I began to sweat, knowing I couldn't fake my way out of this
Bro.
one. My girlfriend shook her head, begging me to stop. But Twilight had taught me one thing. The
Bro, you
answer
just- you
was
just
whatever
gotta say, like, your parents are calling you, you gotta go, and just leave. Instead of
made the
sitting there.
least sense. Unless someone changes their mind. Her
The
mom dropped the
dungeon is-
scorecard. The basement went silent. Then Uncle Carlisle whispered, "That's correct." My girlfriend
How
grabbed
is
my
he getting
sleeve.
this
"How are you
right?
doing this?"
He's
I waved
winning.
one hand at
He's
the
not
Jacob
losing
cutout,
at
the
all.
glitter, and the bell. After the baby imprinting thing, I stopped trying to be right and started trying to be Twilight. Her mom smeared glitter
What?
across my face. "You get to be Edward next month." I
Bro.
told my
What?
I was
Next
in the
video.
middle of my biology final when I looked up and saw a
Classic
clown
clown
with
went
his
too
face
far.
pressed against
That's a class clown, alright. He literally is a clown. That's a class clown if I've ever seen one.
the classroom window. I tried to ignore him because I hadn't had time to study for this test and didn't need the distraction, but he was
Why is he not doing the test? Bro, imagine looking out the window, you're doing a test, and you see really a class clown. Someone that's in your class, and they literally are a clown.
staring right at me
Bro.
and smiling with all his teeth. A few students
With all his
giggled, and
teeth
my
that showed no
teacher
teeth.
sighed. "Everyone focus, please." Nobody focused because he started
teacher
making balloon
again.
animals. He made a flower
Balloon
and
an-
pretended to smell it.
What?
Then he twisted 6 balloons into a long knife. He dragged it
What is he
slowly across
doing,
his own
bro?
throat while staring directly into my eyes with the huge smile
Bro.
still on his face. I started
What is
shaking because
happening?
this test was about to be the least of my problems. My teacher shot up so fast her chair flew
Oh.
backward.
That the chair.
Then she grabbed the wall phone, and 30 seconds later, the intercom
Those phones are supposed to have like wires on them. That one
crackled.
didn't.
Entering lockdown. "Teachers, please secure your classrooms."
Lockdown over the literal class clown.
Immediately, she hit the lights, and we scrambled to the back wall.
Okay, I think the class clown or whatever that thing was, may or may not have seen you guys were in here. Also, they're on the wall that's facing right out the window where it is.
In the dark, a nearby
that's
window
a
rattled,
great idea.
then another one even closer. Oh my god.
Close the window.
God, he's trying to get in, someone whispered.
He's trying to
Suddenly,
get
two
in?
fists hit our window so hard, the whole frame rattled, and I started to cry. The window cracked.
Bro.
Then we heard footsteps running outside and people shouting. There was a huge crash right below the window, followed by silence. My teacher
It's
flipped the
literally
light
somebody in your class in a clown
on, and
suit
we ran to the
sniffing flowers, and you go and
window.
walk down.
Two officers had the clown on the ground with his red wig beside him and his face paint smeared
Bro.
off. The whole class recognized him immediately. It was the class clown Andres. One of the officers crossed his arms. You want to tell us what exactly you were doing out here? Andres hung his head. It was a joke. I just wanted everyone to get sent home early. The officer shook his head. And
Get
the
sent
knife?
home
Andres
early?
sighed. I didn't think that part through. I slid down the wall
What?
and sat on the floor with my head between
What's
my knees.
happening,
My
bro?
teacher crouched next to me. You can retake the test another day. I took a deep breath. Cool.
Cool. Is this an ad? No.
Middle-aged
That
man
other
barged
one.
into my barbershop, skipping the entire
Well,
line
what's
and
happening
pushing
now?
the old man I was about to cut out of the chair. I've got
Ooh.
a date in 30 minutes. I need to
Well, shame on you.
look perfect for her. Everybody else can wait. He plops down
You then cut your own hair.
into the chair and tells me to start. I shake my head. That's not this works. But he's already shoving
That's
200
not this works. Even the caption said that's not this works. The title of this is he thought he could be rude to his
dollars
barber.
at me. I'll pay double, but you're
$200.
cutting me right now. He stares at the old man he just shoved. Get in the line. He snaps his fingers at me. I look at the customers still waiting, then grin deviously. Fine, I'll cut you right now, I tell him.
Get him bald. Nah, you have to. You gotta give him the worst
He
haircut.
groans, finally.
Not
then
even
takes
a
out his
haircut.
phone, looking down to book
Just randomly.
reservations and not paying attention to
stuff.
what I'm doing. I buzz my clippers to life, and hair immediately starts
Just a haircut. Didn't even tell him what he wanted, like what style. Just said, give me a haircut.
falling from his head.
Okay,
in
let's see.
random
This is what happens when you ask your barber for just a haircut and nothing else.
patterns. An S appears
Just
on
kidding,
the top.
guys.
He looks ridiculous, but he's too focused on his
Bro.
phone to look at me. I know the owner personally, so mess this up and you're done here. Now hurry up. My
Cool.
date will get sad if I'm late, but his date will get sad either
Oh, what
way,
a shame.
as his head looks like a blindfolded third grader's arts and crafts project. Other
That's
customers start giggling at how he looks, and suddenly he turns around. What's everyone laughing at? He raises his head towards the mirror for the first time and sees the abomination that is his hair.
Wait, but he can't even
Haircut.
see
I throw
anything.
my hands up.
Can't even
Isn't
see
this what
anything
you
'cause it's on the
wanted?
front.
He instantly leaps out his chair, looking like he's about to punch me. You ruined my date, you incompetent weasel. I'm still laughing as someone pulls out their phone to take a photo of him. But just as he curls
They
his
all have,
fists,
like, the same
barbershop
phone.
bell chimes. A bald 7-year-old girl walks
Give me my haircut.
in. Daddy, are you ready for our date? His face turns to smile
What?
as he turns around. Of course, sweetheart. My stomach turns in horror as I realize he's going on a date with his daughter who has cancer, and I just destroyed his hair. But then she points at him. You look so stupid, Daddy. She clutches her belly laughing, and suddenly the man pulls me into a giant hug. I still hate the haircut, but that's the first time she's laughed in months, thank you. He
Ooh,
pulls away,
okay,
and
W
I watch them
haircut
walk
then,
out
I
together,
guess.
laughing
Well,
about his hair. A
I don't know,
middle-aged
actually. I don't know about that. Next video.
I
Why
was
is there a gap
halfway
in the
across
bridge? First frame and there's a gap in a bridge and whatever this thing
the
is.
old rope bridge when it started swinging, and I almost got flung straight into the air.
Bro,
My older brother was standing back on solid ground next to an anchor
that's not solid ground. He was standing on the second step.
post, swinging the rope with both hands. I grabbed the ropes and looked down, and my eyes went wide, because under me was a long fall onto rocks and shallow water. I screamed as loud as I could.
Bro.
What are you doing? Stop! He gripped the ropes tighter and smirked. What?
Wait.
Scared of a little swinging bridge?
Little swinging bridge.
My face went pale because
That's when you told him, how about you come on here? And then you actually cut the ropes and let it fall. Just kidding. Don't do
if
that.
I fell through, I wasn't landing in water. I was landing on hard rocks, so I bolted for the far
Is it me or have these rocks been like moving this whole video? Like first they're like to the right a little, now
side
they're
to get to
directly under
safety,
it.
but my foot punched straight through a plank, and I
Straight through a plank.
went down with my whole leg through the hole.
Bro, if he okay, wait, I just realized I paused on a frame where the thing is in his leg, okay? If he could hold himself like if he like goes on bro, what is happening? If he goes like on a if he drops down like really far, and if he could never mind. Keep going. Continue.
I grit my
Whoa.
teeth, ripped my leg free, and crawled flat on my stomach to spread my weight. But my brother swung harder, and my body started sliding out under the rope with
Then hold on to the rope.
"Please, I'm gonna
Swing your
fall,"
feet up
I begged,
onto those
but
ropes
that
and
only
use
made
them
him
to
laugh
push you
and
up,
pump
and
his
then
arms
keep
faster.
walking.
I lunged for solid ground one
Also,
last time, but then the
why are
plank
there such
dropped
big
out from under my
gaps?
foot, and my entire
Another one
body
dropped
fell
out
through.
from under your
My
foot.
hands barely caught the rope with my legs kicking over the rocks. I was dangling in the air, getting swung, but that's when I noticed a rhythm through my
Bro.
hands that was coming through the rope.
Oh,
So I immediately
brother.
started throwing my legs with the arc instead of against it,
Oh,
feeding
wait,
my
that's a
weight
good
into the
idea.
wave and sending it right back down the bridge.
So if this ever happens to you, you just gotta like keep like kind of like on a swing, like you put your legs out and you do that.
At my brother, his smirk dropped. "What are you doing?"
So then it goes at the other person
"Stop,"
swinging
he
it.
screamed, and now he was the one begging. He yanked
Ooh.
harder to cancel it, but that just fed my wave even more. My arms were burning and my fingers were slipping, but I didn't care
What?
because
Now
the
he's like
anchor
that.
post he was braced against was leaning out of the dirt. I looked him dead in the
You guys are
eyes
both
and
gonna
smirked.
fall, bro.
"What, scared of a little swinging bridge?" Then I whipped my whole body into one last massive swing, and the anchor post ripped out of the ground. The rope
Okay.
snapped back,
Now-
snatching him off his feet and
now
dragging
it's just
him
like a
down
big
the bank
ladder.
into the mud below. I hauled myself up the sagging rope onto solid ground with shaky
Alright.
legs and looked down at him. He sat up in the mud, covered head to toe in brown, and screamed, "I'm telling Mom." I
Okay.
smiled the whole walk home, because telling Mom meant explaining who started it.
Oh
was half-
yeah. That's an ad. We do not get
The
self
rule was
promos
simple.
on
The last
live
person
streams.
with a hand on the truck wins it. And 11 hours in, my hand was shaking so badly.
It's not like you're pushing it the whole time. Like, have you been pushing it? Why are your hands shaking? Just sit on top of it. Grab the windshield wiper. Then you're still touching the car. You're still touching a part of the car. That actually, I'm pretty sure they did that in a Mr. Beast video. Oh,
I
why
was
is the
about to
audio
lose
broken?
to
There
an
we go.
8-year-old girl who hadn't even broken a sweat. My arm trembled so hard, I had to press my whole
Why is
body
he-
against the hood just to keep my palm flat. The DJ leaned into his mic. "No sitting, no stepping away, and lift your hand
you
for
can't
any
sit?
reason. You're out." I had signed up so sure I'd win that I sold my own car that same morning. 60 people.
Why'd he sell his car to sign up? It's free to sign up. Like, what? Why didn't he just keep the other car? So if he lost, he would have a car. Or if he won, he could sell that car too. Like, the old car, sell that. I don't know.
Had entered, and now it was down to me and her, which meant I had bet my only ride to work against a kid with the world's strongest bladder. By hour 12,
What?
my knees locked every time I shifted my weight. I looked over to steal her strategy, but she just
Okay, why is
stood
he
there,
turning
flat-footed
orange?
and bored. The DJ's voice boomed through the speakers. 13 hours, officially the longest contest I've ever run. The
13
crowd went
hours?
wild, and more people gathered around the truck chanting her name, not mine. I had ignored my bladder for 13 hours, but hour 14 hit different,
Okay,
and
you
2
don't need-
coffees that morning was an amateur mistake.
not
My
need to
palm
say
was
this.
sweating so badly my hand kept sliding, and all I could think about was Monday morning. No truck, no car, no way to get to work. The girl looked over at me while I tried to drag my hand
Wait,
back into
there's
place.
no sitting, but how about he lays?
"Are you okay?" she asked. "Fine," I said, and my
Yep,
voice cracked halfway
perfectly
through
fine.
the word. At hour 15, she reached
Also,
her free
why
hand up
does
to
an 8-year-old girl want a truck? What? I don't think you could drive, ma'am.
scratch her nose, and for one glorious second, I was sure she had finally let go. I threw both arms over my head and
Why'd he do that? It does not require 2 hands off the truck to scratch your nose.
screamed, "I won!" The crowd went dead silent. The DJ leaned into his mic. "Sir, her other hand never left the truck."
Bro, is he that blind? Not is he? There's no way.
My whole body went numb. I looked down. Both of my hands were in the air. Hers was still flat on the hood, her free hand frozen on her nose. My legs gave out from pure horror, and I sat down on the pavement in
Now
front of
she's
everyone.
gonna let go, and there's just gonna be some random person in the back still
The
holding
girl
on.
walked over, looked down at me, and said, "My mom can drive you to work in the truck if you want." Her mom jingled the
What?
keys like it was already
Where did this person come from? Why didn't the mom participate in the contest?
decided. I got up and sprinted for the bathroom without answering. The rule was
What?
simple.
Next
A
video.
mom in yoga pants pointed at me in the ice cream truck line
What did he do this time?
and yelled, "That man just cut in front of my son for Blue Monster Crunch."
Okay, why did you have to yell out the flavor that you're getting? Like, you could have just said, "This person cut in front of my son in line when we were here first," instead of saying, "The Blue Monster Crunch." Get it? All right.
I set my
Why
hand
does
on
the
my
audio do
nephew's
that?
shoulder and pulled him half a step behind me. He gripped the $3 I'd given him as a reward for not biting
$3
the
for that.
dentist. I'd promised him if he
I
made
don't
it through
even
the
know what that
appointment,
flavor
I'd buy
was.
him a Blue Monster Crunch he could
The Blue Monster
bite as
Crunch.
hard as he wanted, and his jaw was already working side to side just thinking about it. The driver leaned out, freezer lid half open. I only have one Blue Monster Crunch left. If my nephew didn't get it, somebody else was getting bit instead. The woman raised her voice before I could answer.
Wait, someone else was getting bit? What?
He's teaching a child to cut for ice cream. My nephew's teeth clicked together, and I clamped my hand flat on his shoulder to keep him from lunging at her purse strap. I planted my foot in front of his sneaker. We've been in line the whole time. She slapped $4
Yeah,
on the
lady.
counter. My son deserves it more.
$4.
My nephew's whole body
Oh.
leaned forward, jaw open, eyes locked on her wrist, and I hooked 2 fingers into his collar and hauled him back against my leg. The woman didn't flinch, so I stood straighter and put my body fully between them because I knew she was seconds away from crying about a bite mark instead of an ice cream bar. He was next, and he bites. The driver looked at both
Like, what's the rule here if you get the Cookie Monster Crunch, whatever that was? Like, what's the rule? You get bit? Like, what? What are they talking about?
kids, then reached into the freezer, and I felt my nephew's fingers dig into my leg like he was counting
What?
down. The driver pulled out the last
Like he
Blue
was counting.
Monster
What does fingers digging in your leg have to do with counting down?
Crunch, and the yoga mom's hand shot across the
The
counter
yoga
and
mom?
grabbed it at
What?
the same second my
Why
nephew
did bro grab it from the? So like they go to an ice cream thing. They grab the ice cream, not from the cone, from the actual
nephew's
ice
jaw
cream.
snapped forward at her sleeve. I hooked my arm around his chest and yanked him back just
Steal
as her
it.
son tugged her jacket. I want SpongeBob. She turned, hand
want
still holding the
SpongeBob.
ice cream bar in
Bro's thumb is inside the ice cream.
the air. What? He pointed into the freezer, the one with the weird eyes. My nephew
So he
stopped
never even
straining
wanted
against
that
my
one?
arm and leaned around me to look.
Just wasting
Can I get
time?
one too? The driver dug 2 SpongeBob bars out from the bottom of the freezer and passed one to each boy. They ripped
This quality stinks. Deserved. Okay. Cool. I like. Then go to your YouTube settings and put the quality to different P. The FPS is 2. Okay. Frames per some time. Okay, I'm done, bro. Also, you see how I got the thing set up, my gorilla? I made it in Blender. Yep, I'm so cool. So when I talk, like, does it? Alright.
off the wrappers, tapped them
lag.
together like a cheers, and my nephew sank his teeth straight into SpongeBob's face while Yoga
What?
Mom stood there still holding the melting
Still check my Streamlabs settings. I'll check them after the stream. It's fun. I'll just do it after the stream. Also, bro, apparently Yoga Lady or whatever her name is. Why does bro hold the ice cream instead of by the cone? Grabbed it like from the top of the ice cream, like the actual ice cream, and was holding it with their thumb inside of it, bro. The Blue Monster Crunch.
He grinned up at me.
Ad. What is that?
Me and my girlfriend were kissing in her bed.
Right.
I was pulling into my driveway in my brand
Next
new
video.
car.
What could that video possibly be about, bro? Like, what? Let me check if I have any other things open. Nope.
When I felt the wheels lose traction and screamed, I slammed into a tree and
Oh no. Bro, put on the brake. Also, why were you going so fast? Like, you weren't moving, then you floor it, like, out of your driveway? Because if your wheel slips, that means you were going really fast, like, instantly. Make the email? Oh yeah, I'll do that later. I keep
when I
forgetting.
stumbled out, I saw banana peels smeared all over my tires, and I heard laughing
Playing Mario Kart? Why are there banana peels?
behind me. My little brother Zach pointed. Gotcha, loser! That's what you get for getting a car before me! My whole body
What? The worst reasoning ever. Wait, 60 seconds till we've been live for an hour. Let's go.
filled with anger. You're 14, bruh! You can't even
You're 14. Bruh.
drive! But he got closer. If I can't have a car, neither can you. I looked at my wrecked car,
That's
years of
totally
savings
how it
gone,
works.
and stormed inside with my fists clenched because I wasn't letting this little brat get away with this. I went to my parents to expose him, but Zach cut in
Now
front
what you do, you take his bed away. Yep. Actually, you empty out his whole room to take everything.
me. He crashed his new car being reckless. I threw my hands up. No, he put banana peels in the driveway. But
Bro, what?
my parents just laughed. Zach would never do that. He's clearly more responsible than you. Through the window, they saw my car. And you're paying for the damage yourself. Zach stuck
Who
his
is?
tongue out while they wrapped their arms
Zach?
around him as I walked away defeated.
Wait,
I towed the car
who's
to the
paying?
mechanic, hoping I could fix it. But he handed me a bill for $5,000. But
$5,000? That for that? That's pretty cheap.
I had 2 cents in my bank account, so I had to
2 cents. If you don't have, if you're gonna buy a car and you have 2 cents left over after you buy it, I don't think it's a good investment to buy that. Then you'll have no money after it. Then you're gonna have to pay for gas. Like what? You'd want more money, like a little extra money than how much it costs, and then you have more
sell my
money
dream
to use
car
it.
and walk home with nothing. I didn't think it could get worse, but when I got home, a brand
Sold
new
it?
car was sitting in the driveway.
Brand
My
new
parents
car.
were hugging Zach. This is his reward for doing the right thing. He ran
Doing the right thing. He's 14 apparently. How does he get a I'll say the Tesla, you know? I don't want to get like copyright, I don't know. Cuz like when I get monetized, if I'd ever do, then this might get taken out. All right. Where's the audio? Where's
up and shoved the keys in my face. Told you, I deserve a car more than you. Be more
Lag.
responsible next time.
W
But I just
lag.
stood there,
Okay.
calm, because I had the perfect plan. The next day, I found
Why
Zach
the
and
FOV
laughed.
just-
What a loser. You can't even drive, bruh. He shot up, angry. I could. At least I have a car. But I slapped my knee. Nah,
actually,
bruh.
they both
You're still
have a
learning
car,
about
but it doesn't matter what
fractions. He
condition
grabbed his keys.
it's in.
Oh yeah? Watch me. He jumped in his car and floored it in reverse. I looked at the banana peels
Floored
I
it in
planted the night
reverse?
before and saw his tires
Oh, he's
hit the
doing the
peels,
same
spin
thing.
out, and slam the whole front end into
Oh
the
no,
mailbox.
spin
Before
out.
he could
Yep.
blink, I ran inside screaming, Zach crashed his car. He's not even allowed to drive. My parents stormed out, and this time they
Oh.
saw everything. Zach Ronaldo Avery, you're grounded.
How do you have your name tag on the full Dexford? It was always there for me.
And no car until you're 18.
Mine doesn't have it. Weird. Mine also to get the shadows, like the shading on my thing, I render it in cycles. Also to make grayed out. Oh, look at the like if everything's gray, go to the top right, and like there should be like all those circles, like click all of them cuz one of them is like to view textures. I don't know. I use cycles rendering it. Also the green background, I just added in object mode, I added a plane, like a not like an actual plane, and then I just extended it in the background and just made it green. Huh? Like in the top right of Blender, there's like those circles.
Zach sobbed into his hands as they turned to me. As a reward, we'll fix it and give it to you instead. They hugged me as I
What?
stuck my tongue out at my brother. Be more responsible next time.
Now they have 2 cars.
I was pulling into my driveway in my
What?
brand new car when I felt the wheels.
Oh wait, no, I thought video ended. Who is that? Okay,
I grabbed a stick off the ground and yelled Fortnite Battle Royale, then
Fortnite Battle Royale, guys.
watched my friends do the same. Our village had been invaded by soldiers 2 weeks ago, and we just
What?
wanted to take our minds off our families dying. We started pretend
Timothy? What?
shooting each other and laughing for the first time in weeks. I hid in a bush because I'd seen players do that back when I still had internet, but my friends stayed in the square fighting.
He's
When
bush
my friend
camping, guys.
Sammy ran past my bush, I instantly
Why is Sammy running like that?
pretend shot him. He yelled, ah, and clutched his
Oh.
chest, then laughed, guess I'm eliminated, and
Yep.
climbed into the bush to
Eliminated.
spectate the game. But then suddenly, we saw army clothes, the same soldiers who killed our
Like what? Why'd they do that?
families 2 weeks ago. Our friends dropped their sticks in fear, and I felt my chest go cold. They didn't see us and just started rounding up our friends. Where are you taking us? But the soldiers said nothing
Well,
and just
yeah.
held their wrists.
That's it.
We have to help them, Sammy whispered, and went to leap out.
Help them? What are you gonna do? There's soldiers
But
with
I blocked him.
something
We're
in their
gonna-
hand. YouTube TOS. I don't think you would say what it is. I don't think so. But like, well,
Die,
oh.
man. They have guns. Well, we have to do something.
Also, by the way, YouTube, those are Nerf blasters, like the little kids' toys. They aren't real.
I was panicking,
This is just an animation. This is all fake. This is not real.
watching my friends cry while being marched
There
in
you
a
go.
straight
That's
line.
how we don't
I'd never
get
see them again.
right.
But then one of our friends, Yusuf, punched a guard. He started running in our direction, and I held my breath, praying he'd
Yusuf.
make it. But the soldier caught up and grabbed Yusuf's shoulders. Yusuf thrashed, but the soldier calmly turned to his squad leader. What will I do with this one? The squad leader looked down at Yusuf, crying. Deal with him alone. Do it there. He pointed at the woods behind our bush. I gripped my head in horror.
What?
The others continued marching, while the
Also, just because their apartment area somehow blew up or something, why does that mean they
soldier
have
dragged
to?
Yusuf forward with a sick smile. Me and Sammy nodded at each other and clutched our sticks, our hands shaking as we knew this was our only chance. The soldier walked by and we crept out of our bush. The leaves crunched under my feet as I approached him, and I raised my stick quietly as I could. But he heard us.
What's
He
a
turned around,
stick?
but my stick was already connecting with his head. Sammy's stick
Where'd the helmet go?
hit his stomach at the same time and he dropped. His head hit a rock on the way down and he wouldn't move. Yusuf
Subscribe.
instantly hugged us.
Yeah,
You
subscribe to
saved
me
me, and we
and his
immediately
story.
dragged him back into the
We
bush,
both
but
make
others were
W
gone. Me and
videos.
Sammy couldn't save everyone, but our bush had at least saved Yusuf.
W. Bush, W. Yusuf.
Two
Next video.
officers rushed into my office and
Alright, the title of this, they arrested me at work.
grabbed my arms before I even stood up from my desk. The promotion email still sitting open on my monitor from that morning. You're under arrest for the murder of Louis Rodriguez. I stumbled
What?
back while my whole team froze and stared at me. I don't even know who that is. They cuffed my hands
Yeah,
behind my
don't
back
think
anyway.
anybody does,
Save it.
bro.
We have all the proof we need. All I could think
All
the
the
whole
proof?
ride to the station was how I
Why is the police officer in the back with them? Isn't that's not how it works.
was going to prove I was innocent before I lost the life I'd finally built for myself since I left my toxic ex Dana 8 months ago. I sat in jail 3 weeks before I finally met my lawyer in the visitation room. She slid a folder across the table. 3 witnesses
React to my live stream. Okay. Okay, I'll react to your live stream. Let me. Starting soon. Even is. I guess we'll find out what's. I guess we'll find out. Okay. The sub count on there is. That sub count's wrong. Here, wait. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now. Can you? Yes, you can. Okay. Let me go to Shrimple's stream. Shrimple GG. It's taking a while to type. There we go. Like I was typing when it was taking a while for it to like catch up. Catch up, ha! Gorilla Tag's best update portrait. Oh, you are live. Okay. Your goal is 7K subs. Why 7K? 1 second, chat. We're to Shrimple. Oh, I'm trying to react to Shrimpile. Come on. I should have my screen hidden. It's kind of broken, the sub count. I might. Bro! Broski. I'm trying to go to your live stream. 1 sec. 1 second. Oh. Why is it still loading? I'm trying to press live. Oh my gosh! My guess is Shrimple's gonna be reacting to me, probably. Alright. Portrait? Is that like... I think it's the... Is it the full screen version? No, I don't want the full... Jake Weeks, hello. I'm reacting to his story. Or his story. I sound like I said history. I'm reacting to his story, but one of my moderators said react to them. So I'm gonna go to their live stream. I'm trying to go to it. It's not in the short mode, and it won't fit on the screen if it's not on there. Well, it's loading.
Trick
1 second.
shots. New space age materials have been discovered that
It's just you playing Gorilla Tag. Cool. Wow. Awesome.
make friendship bracelets work during.
Okay, the quality on that microphone, Shrimple, is a little bad. His story. We're gonna go back to his story. All right, 1 second, guys. History does. I keep saying history, but his story does long forms. What? I did not know that. I mean, I guess it would make sense. Bro, his story makes around 70 uploads per week. Bro, because I have a thing that like says how many videos like a week. I'm trying to scroll down. 1 second, guys. Bro, it just does not want me to scroll down. Well, I mean, that's awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna end the stream, guys. I guess I'll just put it to here. It just won't work. I'm scrolling right now. You guys can't see my mouse, but like, it's switching between Shrimple's banner. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. Bye, guys.